Hey everyone, I found these adorable reindeers at Hobby Lobby and I'm making some really cute Christmas resin and glass art projects. Follow along to see what I make. So for this project, I'm using this picture frame mold. I've used it in other videos. I know a lot of you own this mold, and this has an inner and an outer lip, and to do this, I poured the colored or the glittered resin along the perimeter and let this cure for several hours on my heat Then I put glass down at the bottom. This is Ashland decorative filler. It's a seasonal glass that actually is iridescent, and I always tell you not to pour resin over it, but unfortunately resin does go on top of it, and I have to kind of build up the glass after to make it a little higher. And then I pour my resin in, and of course, like I said, the glitter is already cured up. And then I take my reindeer. This is the reindeer from Hobby Lobby. It is an ornament. It does have a little hanger on it, so I have to cut the hanger off of it. And then I just set it in. It is so simple, and they turn out so pretty. Now I am doing a bunch of other reindeers too, not only the Hobby Lobby ones, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. And then at the end, I actually make a napkin holder that turns out adorable. And the interesting thing about this is we're actually doing this on the back, and it looks just as pretty from the back as it does from the front. And the great thing is it comes with these holders that you just put together and it stands up. It's all in one. It's really a nice it's really a nice mold, and fairly inexpensive too. You can get the oval one and the rectangular one for $9.99 on Amazon. I'll leave links to everything that I use in this video. And so this was another one with a reindeer that I had a reindeer mold for, and I make a bunch of these in a minute. So I literally have hours of video, but I have sped this way up, and I make all different kinds of frames. This one I have pearls in, the other one is gold glitter. So for the majority of the reindeer, I use glitter. And the reason I use glitter is because the glitter is so much easier to control. You can make it nice and thick, and it looks like I'm making a mess putting it into the antlers, but honestly, the thicker it is, the better. You can just push it down in there, and then it stays there. You'll see a lot of these reindeers made up, and a lot of the mica powders have gone in from the antlers into the reindeer. You can't keep it separate. It's easier to keep it separate, I guess, if you put a little bit of glue in it. Literally have hours and hours of video me making these. So like I said, I'm going through it fast. I have the heat table, which allows it to cure within 2 hours so that I can move on. So I wanted to show you this chunky glitter. I had to drive 30 miles to get the last green glitter at Michael's the other day, believe it or not, which is a real nice glitter. It's $10 for 5 ounces. This is Sia glitter on Amazon, and it's 4.9 ounces for, I believe, $7.99. But to look at it, it looks like it's a fine glitter, but it's not. It's a nice chunky glitter, and it has fine glitter and all different size glitters mixed in, which I really like. I prefer that to just all chunky. So it's super pretty. 4.9 ounces, I believe $7.99 online, and it comes in like 20 different colors you can get. And the problem is I had to drive 30 miles to Michael's to get it because the Michael's around me were out of it. And you can get this Michael's glitter online, but the problem is you have to spend $35 to get free shipping. So, and Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free shipping. So this is Sia glitter, and I'll put a link in the description for it. Once the glitter has cured for about an hour on the heat table, you can pour the clear resin over it, and it will not mix. If it's not on a heat table, it will take longer. And I just love these Hobby Lobby reindeer, and with the bells on them, the bells look so pretty, and it looks just as pretty from the front as the back. You won't believe it. I promise I'm going to show everything up close when I'm done. And the green one just as pretty, but I did have some problems with this particular red bell ran a little. And then the pearl one's super pretty too. So one of the things I do when I'm making the reindeer, I talked about glue. I'll put a few drops of the clear Elmer's glue in whatever I'm putting in the body, and that will make the
resin flow slower to give you time to put the gold in the ears, because you really want to try to keep it separated. The resin looks like it's flowing really fast only because I have this sped way up. So you can make, like I said, you can make it flow slower, preventing the red from going into the ears and the feet by putting some clear Elmer's glue in it. It'll keep it more separate. And here I'm just demolding some of the red reindeer with the gold antlers. Those are super pretty. And then in this next clip, I'm actually making some pastel reindeers. I got some pretty pastel colored glitters from up at Michael's in a little kit. Again, I'm doing these all from the back, and like I say, they look just as pretty from the back as the front. And just keep on watching. I show all of them up close and personal in just a minute. And here I am again, just demolding a bunch of them. I end up making like 20 of these, and I'll tell you the story why I ended up making so many at the end. Here's the pretty pastel ones. I think those really turned out pretty too. I love the pastel ones. I have to figure out what kind of a frame to put on those. So it's really a lot more work to add the reindeer to the front after it's been demolded than the way I'm doing it. But I do want to show you how you can put it on the front in case you want to. Here I have the frame mold demolded. You can do it one of two ways. You can use epoxy resin or you can use UV resin. So with the UV resin, you have to set it on the UV light, take your UV resin and fill in the entire top of the clear spot, the clear part. And there is a little kind of indentation all the way around that makes it look like a real frame around it. So you want to push your UV resin all the way up to that. And on one of my previous videos where I used this mold, that's exactly how I did it. I added the UV resin to the front of it and added all my embellishments on the front, which of course you can do. You know, some people might think this is easier. I don't know. For me, it was easier just adding it on the back. Everything was contained within the mold. How I got the idea to add it to the back was somebody on our Facebook group added it to the back of theirs, and I said, I think you're doing it on the wrong side. She said, yes, but it's easier. Once it's all smoothed out, I put the reindeer on, and then I put some glass at the bottom. And remember, have everything exactly where you want it before you turn that light on, because once you turn the light on, it almost automatically adheres. Although it's not fully cured in seconds, it will automatically adhere, and it will be hard to move it. I don't think you'll be able to move it. So same glass at the bottom, turn the light on. Again, just tons more video of me making more reindeers. And in the very top right, I do a white frame, and that's what I'm going to use for one of the pastel reindeers. And again, these are super easy to do. And they all turn out so cute. Keep watching. So these square ones turn out real pretty too, although my favorite ones are the oval frames. They really are. And I do the majority of them in the oval frames. And that one has glass at the bottom. Oh, that might have a bubble on the back. And then this one has, this I tried to put some white glitter, and then I sprinkled some snowflakes on top of that. So I'm not sure why I did this, but this pearl one I had actually demolded because I think I was going to do it on the front, and then I decided to do it on the back because the pearls kind of stuck up around the perimeter, and I thought that looked prettier. So I just ended up adding the epoxy resin to the back. Again, this is the back, even though it's out of the mold. And then I just added the pastel reindeer and added some glass to the bottom and let that set up. The red reindeer I put lengthwise on the mold, and you can see the red spot that I got on it. I must have dripped some resin in it, and that's why I decided to put the red reindeer on this one. So this is on the front using epoxy resin, just spreading the epoxy resin out and simply putting the reindeer on top of it. I didn't end up putting any glass on it because I just thought it looked beautiful just just like that. And I really like these reindeer sitting like this. Now these are the reindeers I use in a few minutes to make the napkin holder. They're really pretty. And then again, making a few more reindeer, going through this super fast. And next, this is the beginning of the napkin holder. So you can see I have clear resin and I'm dumping my white glitter from Michael's in there, just filling it up to the top, mixing it and dumping it into the picture frame mold. But I'm covering the entire thing, but leaving just about 1/8 of an inch from the top so that I have some room to pour some clear resin after this cures. And this is where I'm going to adhere the reindeer to for the napkin holder. I tell you what, I used up so much resin and so much glitter, and I ran out of green glitter. I ended up having to go to Michael's to get green glitter, and although Michael's around me didn't have any left, I ended up having to go to Sarasota, about 30 miles away, to pick some up. Red and green glitters and gold are all sold out at most of the Michael's. So next I'm going to be making the napkin holder, and I'm going to slow it down a little bit so that you can see how I'm doing this. So I'm wanting these reindeer to stand up, and you can use UV resin, and the UV resin I'm going to be using is actually the bonding resin from Let's Resin. So regular UV resin takes 3 to 5 minutes to fully cure. Usually you can hold something in place for 1 minute and then let go of it, but I decided I would use the bonding resin, and this takes 1 to 2 seconds for it to cure in place. So I just kind of have them set them how I want them, and do one at a time. And can you see on all these reindeers, I didn't show you this, they all have a little eye up at the top to feed a ribbon or a piece of string through so that you can hang them on the tree, because of course these are really supposed to be ornaments to hang on the tree. I actually did that to all the reindeer before I put them on the frame. So here I go. I put a little bit of the bonding resin under the feet or the hooves, whatever's touching the resin down below. And I don't do this perfectly straight either. I kind of mess up a little bit, but it does end up turning out pretty. Then just put the light on it for a second, and I'm probably holding it there longer than I need to, but I hit it with the UV light on each side, and this little flashlight comes with the Let's Resin bonding resin right in the box. And then you can pretty much let go of it almost immediately. And I do the same for the other side. And if you don't have the bonding resin, of course, you can just use regular UV resin. You'll just have to hold it up a little bit longer and focus the light on it. So after that was done, I took some epoxy resin and filled it the other 1/8 of an inch. Remember I said I left like 1/8 of an inch from the top, so that this epoxy resin, even though the bonding resin is on there, you need the epoxy resin for a really good, tight, secure hold of the reindeer and of everything else that I'm going to be putting on. So next I take 1/4 inch fiberglass and sprinkle that on either side of the reindeers. Remember, you want to leave the center open because that's going to be where you put your napkins. And then I just like I said, put the glass on either side, 1/4 inch silver reflective fiberglass. I've pulled all the larger pieces out. I wanted smaller pieces. And then I just take, it's a silver snowflake and other little pieces of jewelry and embellishments, and put them on either side of the reindeer. I have a little silver flower, some pearls, jewelry. I think I have a silver bell, and just anything that you might have or you might want to put on there. And once everything's where you want to put it, I take some more of my epoxy resin and just drizzle it over the embellishments, and make sure everything's pushed back so that the center again is open, but you want to make sure the embellishments stick, so drizzle a little bit of the epoxy resin over it, and it just needs to cure up.
Hey everyone, I feel like I'm hiding here behind all the reindeer. So anyway, the story behind the reindeer, besides the fact that I got carried away, I was showing a picture of the reindeer to a friend of mine, Marge, who's also a volunteer at the food pantry, and she really liked especially the Hobby Lobby reindeer. And for our Christmas party every year, she's the one who makes all the decorations, and she makes all these different cool craft items, Christmas items, whatever. She does all different kind of crafty things, and she puts them out on the tables, and then she puts a number under the chairs, and whoever has the number under their chair gets to take whatever home with them. And I mean, she makes like 20, 30 different things every year. And so I thought, well, because she liked them, maybe I could help her out a little and make a few things too. So, you know, sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming. So anyway, I hope she ends up taking some of them for the Christmas party, because otherwise I'm going to have a lot of extra reindeer. So anyway, they were a lot of fun though, super easy, especially these. All you did was plopped them in the middle. And really, I want to show you the front and the back of them, because so they're really, this is really supposed to be a picture mold, and this is supposed to be the front. And there's actually a little indent all the way around the edge. But look at how cute it is from the front of it too. I mean, so this is it this way, which I think is really pretty, which is the way I think I would display it. But you could also display it that way. It really looks pretty both ways. So, and the Hobby Lobby has two different reindeer. So here's one where his snout is kind of up, and then here where he's looking straight ahead. So there are two different reindeer. And then I thought this was super cute too, in this position here, because, well, you wouldn't be able to put it the other way, and I really didn't think it needed anything else. So, so anyway, and then my little pearl one, because the pearls were sticking up, I just thought, oh, this could be a domino effect. If one of these fall, they could all fall. The pearls kind of stuck up more, so I thought that it really looked cute from that side. And then, of course, I showed you how to do it from the other side. So the previous projects that I've done, I cured the whole thing up, took it out of the mold, and flipped it front side up, and then adhered my elements to it with the UV resin. So, and then of course you can use UV resin or epoxy resin, but I mean, this is so easy doing it this way, and they look so pretty. They really do. At least I think they do. So anyway, I'm trying to think, and so yeah, adding glue, you know, when you use mica powder or a colorant in the resin and aren't using glitter, a lot of times one runs into the other, and it's really hard to keep them apart. And of course you could add glue to that, but the glitter you can really get nice and thick even without glue, and they stay apart better. But adding the glue really makes, especially for in the body, because that's a larger area, it slows the movement down, gives you enough time to get your glitter up into the other areas so that you can keep them separate. So that was one of the tricks. One of the red bells actually ran a little bit, so be careful with your red stuff. Red is notorious for running for some reason. And I'm trying to think what else I can tell you about them. They were just a lot of fun. The molds I got on Amazon, and I have a bunch of them. So these are the ones that come just like this, two of them for $9.99. And then the other grouping, they have 4 for $14.99, which comes with the oval, the rectangle, but it also comes with these other 2 cool wavy molds. Are $14.99, just $5 more, and you get 4. But the only thing is they're a little bit flimsier, and you get the stand, but you only get 1 stand for the 4. Whereas with this, you get the 2 stands. You can pour it at the same time. So so that's cool. And yeah, and that is what really makes it nice. This is the mold that I keep by my on my resin table all the time, and just pour in here if I have extra resin, because I always am looking for a stand for something, and it's so easy to do, just to pour in there. So that, and the other thing is, so $14.99, but I was on Amazon, and I don't know if I'm losing my mind, but I swear I saw these same ones for $5.49 for all 4 of them. The only thing was, the reason I didn't order them was because it was going to take till mid-December to get them. So that was the difference. So if you're willing to wait, I think you can get them really cheap. So I will link everything in the description, including the reindeer molds. The Hobby Lobby ones are up there. Christmas is half off, 50% off anything Christmas. The Hobby Lobby ones, you got 6 of them for $4.40. It was $8.80, I think. So half of it would be $4.40. And you got 6 of them, 3 of them with their noses up and 3 of them with their noses straight. They had them in gold, silver, pink, white. They might have even had them in a pale blue, a pastel blue. The golds were my favorite, though. I just thought the golds were really pretty. I did get some silver ones. I think I have a silver one over there that I thought was real pretty, too. And then the napkin holder. I think this is so cute. Yeah, so here it is with napkins in it. Holds the napkins perfect. I don't think the tall ones, the tall reindeer would hold this in as well. That's why I thought to do it this way. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this up close. I could have put my glass on this up a little bit higher, but isn't that pretty? I just think that's so pretty and looks so holiday-like. I mean, you could do red and green ones or any color you want, but I wanted to use the pastels and use the white down here. And, just add any embellishments you want in whatever colors you want. This side, I had added a bell and pearls and little silver flower. I just thought that was so much fun and so cute. So, anyway, and let me see, what other one can I show you up close? This one, I don't know if I showed you the wavy one up close. And that's with the silver Hobby Lobby reindeer and the pearls at the bottom. Anyway, yeah, and the pastels and the pearl. These are the other pearls. Aren't they pretty? I just think they're so pretty. So pretty and so easy to do, especially if you're using the Hobby Lobby ones. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. I have a huge mess in the resin room. I got to clean it up and move on to something else. I've just done enough reindeers. I need to do a Christmas tree. I've not done a Christmas tree yet this year. I have done so many Christmas tree videos in the past. It's really hard to think of a new type of Christmas tree to do, but I'm gonna think of something. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell. You'll be notified every time I put out a new video. Amazing group over on our Facebook group. Come join us there, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thank you.